Hey everyone, this is just a little video to say thank you to our Patreon supporters. Now, we first...
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. We first came across Patreon back in Canada when we met a dear Canadian guy by the name of Forrest Stevens, who puts together documentaries. I think he's on Netflix now. He's pitched it to Netflix. And he's doing good things.
Wow.
Forrest Stevens. He does van life documentaries and also people living alternatively. So he came down below and we did a tour with him on our boat. And in exchange, he told us of Patreon, this amazing
elusive
realm of Patreon where people support you to live out your dreams. So
thanks, Forrest.
Thank you to Forrest. We didn't think we needed Patreon. Then where were we? 8 days out of Hawaii, we ran out of all of our food on board and we were starving for 8 days, which was rough. A lot of you followed that story quite closely on our daily blogs. So anyway, that part of the crossing and getting us back to Australia wouldn't have been possible at all
without you guys.
Like,
honestly, you just following us, give us support. We felt like you were egging us on, like you were there with us the whole way. It's hard to explain when you're out there in the middle of nowhere. Having you guys there with us felt amazing, and we can't say enough. We really mean it. Thanks. It's amazing. Eryn's going to read out just some names here, some Patreons who helped us live out our dream and
get back to Australia.
Buy a beautiful boat and sail it all the way back to Australia.
We would have done this earlier, but when we got back, I can just take this cut from the other bit of the movie because I liked what I said in that last bit of the movie.
About what?
About how we came back and we were in shock. We were in lockdown for 14 months.
So we got back to Australia and we were feeling malnourished, right?
Oh yeah, no, we were malnourished, but it's a huge ordeal to go through crossing an ocean like that, and other sailors would know that. You get back onto land and you're trying to integrate into society and being on land again, and it's just something's shifted in you and
you get anxious.
You'll never get that back. We both went straight back into work, and we were quite traumatized from our passage, which people probably didn't pick up on from the videos. People have this idea that sailing's super romantic, but it's absolutely not. It's adventurous and it's exhilarating, but romantic, yeah.
It's terrifying and romantic at times. It's beautiful out there, don't get us wrong, it's magic, and we're gonna go and do it again. So it's not like the hardest thing was getting back in, trying to go back into work. And I remember just going down to a local pub and having a beer, and it was just so loud, and I was just being on the boat, it's so peaceful and beautiful, and being back into society, everyone's lost it, everyone's nuts, it's just, and then being you're away from social media and news, and you've just got yourself, and it's so peaceful and beautiful out there. Getting back to society was difficult for both of us, so
and
and after 12 months we just want to run away again.
But when we first got back, the trip for us was both we both found it quite traumatic. So even looking back at Patreon, contacting all of our old Patreon supporters, or anything to do with the boat, really, we had people commenting on YouTube posts saying, are these two still alive? Whatever happened to them? And it's just because we didn't want a bar of it. We were exhausted. It took the best part of 2018 for us to both get our energy and our previous vitamin levels up to scratch. We were both malnourished when we got back. So it's been really big. Number one, integrating back to life on land after such a trip, but also
we're just here to say thanks, and it's hard to explain what it's like there, what it's like out on the ocean.
And these people who, some of them are friends and family, and other people, like we've got people who were supporting us from around the world, and that it just meant the world to us.
Yeah, it really touched us.
So
without further ado,
I bring to you the thanks. Forgive me if I don't pronounce some of these names correctly. Okay, first and foremost, Forrest Stevens.
Legend, thanks so much for putting us onto Patreon. Amazing.
Brad Hannon.
Thanks, Brad.
Cal M. Ul.
Ul.
Christopher Ross. Claudio Hernandez. Dave Kamara. James Mitchell. Jamie Rako.
Good pronunciation.
Thank you. Jeffrey Jones. John A. Tucker. John E. Poetry from down in Melbourne. Thank you. John Timmons. Judy and Ken Lansley.
Thanks.
Ken with no last name. Ken. It's just Ken.
Doesn't need a last name. He's so cool.
Ken is a cool name. Marcel Timmermans. Michael Al. Nick Fletcher. Olivia Zolli, Paul Frederick Borsheim, Quill Howard and Rachel Ritchie from Victoria, Sail Before Sunset,
Thanks, guys.
Sander, beautiful Sarah Bradford, Scott Foster, Sean Buffet, Sexy Sean from False Creek
Pirates,
Spearfish for Food, Stephen Davis, Sailing Vessel Lolita, and lucky last, William Elliott. So thank you to all of those people who heard of our journey either in Canada or on Hilo along the way, and they just thought these two are crazy and we hope they survive.
These poor buggers need some food. Thanks, guys. We so appreciate it, really do. And
Oh, and I haven't forgotten, there's a few of those names who I promised to write handwritten letters to, and I haven't forgotten about you. So that'll be next. So don't be surprised if you get an email from us via Patreon asking for your mailing address, because I haven't forgotten about your handwritten cards. They're on their way.
Thanks.